matters but sensation.
I got these sick Slaanesh backpacks for my Chaos Space Marines that are themed as Emperor's Children. Found them on a Reddit forum and led me to Warmat's Etsy store. Absolutely amazing. They come in this pack, but I wanted a lot more Slaanesh backpacks, so I actually DM'd them and they did a special order for just the backpacks in larger quantities and worked out really well, even with like quite cheap shipping from Canada to Australia. So definitely check them out. I must note that the Slaanesh icon is a bit flimsy. It's very thin resin, so if you do drop the model, you'll probably break it. So just be real careful. It's just a minor gripe. Other than that, I have nothing but positives to say about them and Warmat's store. So yeah, I started by priming with Chaos Black, and now we're going to set it up and get ready to paint them in my lazy, grimdark Emperor's Children painting scheme. Here are the paints we're using. We've got Abaddon Black, Screamer Pink, Pink Horror, Runelord Brass, and Lead Belcher. And then a couple shades, we've got Nuln Oil and Druchii Violets. I was going to go up one stage further and highlight with Emperor's Children, but I might go back and do this at a later date. You'll notice that I haven't done a bunch of highlights in this because, you know, I'm a beginner painter and I'm not that good. So sorry if some of the frames are out of focus. I'm still learning how to do this. It's extremely hard to paint and record at the same time while getting a good angle with a good frame depth of field or whatever and keeping my head out of it. So I started painting and stippling with the brush. Then I remembered that the first time I did this, I actually did it with a sponge. Oh shit, whoops. So yeah, I went back to using the sponge, especially at the start, to get a more rough and kind of random effects than rather just using a brush to stipple. And this worked pretty well, but then I realized that some of these parts were just too small and fiddly to get in there with a sponge effectively, so then I started using a brush. Now I'm using Screamer Pink first, because this is like the main color, I guess. But then I'm going to go back in and like go around the edges with a mix of black and Screamer Pink, about 50-50, because I want a bit of black exposed and I want to kind of fade it into all the colors. So essentially we're going black to Screamer Pink to Pink Horror, and then we're going to go in with like a 50-50 mix of each in between color to help make a bit of a gradient as we slowly build up this pattern. So if you're not familiar with my other Emperor's Children stippling videos, essentially we're going to cover less and less area every time we go up in color. So we're going black to like a bit of black to Screamer Pink, and then Screamer Pink, Pink Horror, and then straight into pretty much straight Pink Horror. I haven't gone super high with the highlights, so you notice a lot of what I'm doing is primarily with mixed colors. I'm not really doing much with straight Pink Horror. By the way, if you joined this so far or just want to see more relatable hobby content, make sure you like and subscribe. But like I said, I might go back to this at a later date and do a few more real fine highlights with Pink Horror and Emperor's Children. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Like I said, this is like a developing thing. I'm just learning as I'm going and practicing things as I'm learning them. So a lot of this is just me going back and forth, doing multiple passes and going back with different mixes of Pink Horror, Screamer Pink, and then sometimes I might have gone a bit too far over and covered something that I wanted to be a bit more black, so then I'll go back in with some black or that mix of black and Screamer Pink. I should note that this isn't meant to be like 100% photorealistic like way of how light hits the model and creates highlights, but it is kind of. I'm still learning all this, I'm very new to it, but it also helps to make a grimdark, like worn paints feel, which is primarily what I'm going for. So then we're going into Runelord Brass for the Slaanesh symbol, which is the only part. I think I'm going gold here. This will take a couple passes, so don't worry if it doesn't look smooth or great initially. You don't want to go on too thick with the paint and just lather it on in one go, because it might look a bit messy. Then Lead Belcher was the only like good base coat of silver base coat color that I had, so I went with that. I figured if it doesn't look dark enough, I can put a wash on it later, which we will do, definitely. So then we're going the metal bits underneath and all the grills, including the ones on the power pack vents, and I think that's it. I've learned that Lead Belcher and probably a lot of GW's metallic paints are quite thick and clumpy, and you need to really mix them well, and you need to really thin them well and not rush in and just slap it on and cake it on, or else it'll look pretty shit. By the way, if you've made it this far, thank you so much, first of all, and I'd really appreciate it if you could hit subscribe. It would mean a lot to me and help me to grow this channel. Here I'm just going back in with the Abaddon Black to clean up the mess I made from the metallic paints and some of the pink, because I'm human and I definitely make lots of mistakes and have to repair things on the way. Now we're going to wash all of the metallic parts, the gold and the silver, with Druchii Violet. I probably should have thinned this down a bit with contrast medium or something, but I just slapped it on straight out the pot, and I wicked away a little bit of where it was like too heavy, but I don't know, this is just something I saw on a video about Contrast Plus painting, and they said that the Emperor's Children models had like a bit of a purple pinky tinge to the metallic bits, and they did it through a similar method like this. So I thought I'd give it a go. I think it looks good, but I don't know, I'm not sure whether I should have used it on everything or not. The one areas I didn't put Druchii Violet was inside of the grills and vents, so I actually just went straight to Nuln Oil, which you can see took about a million hours to shake up, and I only used this paint very recently. It just settles so badly. So yeah, I put that inside all the vents to make them darker and create more shadows rather than making them stick out like a sore thumb with purple. So yeah, I could go over the silver bits with Nuln Oil as well, because I do want it to be a bit darker, maybe a watered down Black Legion contrast paint. But like I said, this might be something I do later. I don't know, I'm still figuring it out as I go. And here I'm going back in and retouching some of the metallic parts, the upwards facing edges and whatnot, to bring back up that gold and silver color where maybe there was too much purple wash. And also to kind of establish a bit of a highlight. I didn't go too far with the highlights here, so I definitely can go back in with like Runefang Steel or something for the silver, and Liberator Gold or something like that for the gold parts. And I will definitely get to that, but for now, I'm just keeping it real simple. I think this is more than enough just to get it battle ready. If you're ever unsure about what parts to highlight, you can get your hobby lamp or a big light source and put it directly above or slightly in front of your model and see where the light catches the model and take a picture of that and refer back to it. So yeah, just about done now. Big thanks to Warmats for creating and distributing this awesome proxy part, and this is the finished product. Takes pretty minimal effort, especially since I paint so little of the Blackpack pink, but yeah. Let me know what you think, and if you're keen to give this one a try yourself, and of course don't forget to subscribe, I'd really appreciate it.